All right, so now for the fun part for some shopping. So, Cochrane Family Farms is a place that I've actually gone to in person before. However, they're almost an hour away from my house, and I've got some personal obligations. We're renovating our kitchen, we've got a few other things going on. Just don't have time to drive to them at the moment. I had intended to go see them at a CD Saturday in Truro last weekend, which is where I met with them last year to pick up some seeds in person after I had done a large order online. But I didn't make it there this weekend for CD Saturday. So I've got a bit of a cart started here. I've got some chives. I have some chives in my garden currently, but you can always use some more. So we're going to grab some of those. I also have told myself that buying as many herbs as possible is really important this year so we don't run out during our pantry challenge. So I have some oregano, something I know that I cook with and I ran out of. I've got some sacred basil, which is like a Tulsi, which is pretty popular by a lot of garden vloggers. I hope to be able to try some basil tea this year, but it's great to just have on hand for cooking too. I think that's the only herb I'm not currently out of. So we know we've gone through their herb section. They're sold out of a lot of things. I know that they really struggled with growing in Nova Scotia this year too. So some things I'm not going to purchase, like fennel. I'm allergic to licorice, and fennel tastes like licorice. And my body, trying to protect me, tells me that fennel is really not a good idea. Like I said, I've already added the oregano. Chamomile, I don't care for. I don't use it in cooking, only in tea. Not a fan, so not going to purchase that. So I have gone through their herbs already, but let's get to the big part. Let's go find some peppers. So I've successfully grown quite a few peppers from Cochrane Family Farms in the past. I know I have my little stack of pepper packets here. Let's get to shopping. So, like I said, I've grown the Amish peppers from them prior, and they've done really well. They're a smaller pepper. They do ripen to red. They're sweet. I put a whole lot in the freezer. We're going to grab more of those. I'm going to grab some more cayenne peppers. This is the one that I had grown before. Some early jalapenos. When that adds to our cart, we're actually going to go change that to 2. We'll go back and change that. Just add another one. Ta-da! Okay, so early jalapenos, we've grown from them before also. We were happy with them. So hopefully 2 packets of jalapenos does it. It's always one that I feel like I could use more of. Let's see if they've got some of the other ones we've grown from them in the past. The King of the North was one that I had mentioned and I would like to get again. Unfortunately, they're out of their purple beauty peppers. That's okay. It's not one of our, key peppers here. We'll try again next year. I noticed that they're also out of stock of those candlelight peppers, so thankfully I do have some of those seeds saved, and I'll see if my friend has any more growing in her greenhouse. Perhaps she'll be able to pass me along some seeds so I can start some more plants for her. Let's see, we've also got our King of the North. We've got that one ordered already. I had grown from them before a few others. So we've got our Amish, that one's out. We've got our jalapenos, we've got our cayennes, we've got our King of the North. Tangerine pimento. How is this one different? 80 days. Sweet. It does boast a cold climate adaptation, which is fantastic for us here. 15 to 20 peppers per plant. It's okay. Early and prolific even in bad years. So this sounds like something I should be trying. So I think we're going to add some of those. Those yellow ones are fun. And I don't have peppers that tend to... Whoops, we are definitely not checking out. Let's go back to shopping. I I don't really have a pepper that ripens to yellow, and it's always fun to have in your. Ooh, that's all the peppers they have this year. Like I said, I know they had an awful growing season too, so that's disappointing. So I've got their Amish pimento. And I think that's going to be everything we get from them. What is this one? Oh, it's out of stock. A Bangles blend. Is this a hot? 60 days green, 80 days color. Sweet pepper. I love that they do tell you that they do well to benefit from a greenhouse in our climate. These guys are honest. They've given me some great growing tips, and they're one of those people that you can just email if you have questions. I think I'm going to hold off on those. They sound a bit smaller. They're not really thick-walled. I don't tend to stuff peppers, so it doesn't sound like something I'm going to cook with often. Oops, I really want those out-of-stock peppers for some reason. Hungarian hot wax. I don't think they had pepper seeds for these last year. So 70 days, so I can still grow those here in my current microclimate. Hungarian heirloom. Good for short season areas. Good for canning and pickling, so it typically means they have a thicker wall. Grow up to 5 inches. And they're prolific. Let's give them a shot. Maybe we can get some pickled hot peppers on the shelf this year. I have a really hard time restraining myself from buying more pepper seeds because even though we're not a heat-loving family, we definitely do enjoy the flavor from hot peppers. We just don't need, a bajillion of them. Let's find our tomatoes. Nope, doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Okay. So they have these packets I find on their website. I can't really tell what's in the packets, and it's not always things that I tend to grow. So let's see. Like I said, I've not had good luck with Amish paste, even though I don't think I've ordered Amish paste from these guys. It's just not something I really want again. I had the black cherry ones. They were just kind of okay. Same with the black prints. They're a fun color, but I didn't find them to be, spectacular. So, black strawberry. I haven't grown this variety before. It's 70 days. Just really small fruits with multicolored marbling. Okay, so they're very hardy and extremely productive with a taste that's both sweet and tart. So I think I'm going to order the midnight snacks, but I'm going to order these also and give them a shot. So these are the Cosmonauts, tried and true favorites. See, look how meaty that tomato is. I'm just going to order one packet, but this is something, it's a staple. We have them in our garden every year. I have a friend that comes and picks up some plants. She loves them, swears by them. This Fundy tomato, we're going to give it a shot again, even though we didn't have fantastic success last year. It was developed here in Nova Scotia. It's just a red slicer tomato. Yeah, want to give it a shot. So these Goldie ones, see, that's another really meaty tomato. I like those because of the versatility of being able to can them. Delivers a rich flavor with a velvety texture. I do remember from the ones that I did harvest last year that they were a good flavor, just really didn't do really well. It does say that they will do well, that they'll cat face under cold or excessively wet conditions. I definitely had some of them that cat faced. But I didn't have a lot of them get to maturity, unfortunately. I think we're going to give it a shot. Hopefully we have a better summer. These are fun looking. Oh, out of stock. This is what happens when you have a smaller seed grower and you're ordering a bit later. Unfortunately, I know I'm not going to get everything. But Moonglow, one of our staples, that's here too. Obviously, we're adding that to the cart. Those are interesting shapes. I know Brandywines are quite productive, but I think they're 90 days. See, only 20 tomatoes per plant, when I know my Paul Robeson certainly sets a lot more than 20 tomatoes per plant. Not sure that's one we really have space for right now. See what else we got. San Marzano, I've tried these before, they're just not for us. Are these large or are they cherry? 59 to 70 days. It's always exciting when you see that kind of day to maturity range. Yes, they're a smaller one, kind of like grape size. Good for greenhouse production. Produces early, even in cooler weather, and has good disease resistance. Sounds like something for our garden. We have had challenges with blight here on this property, more so than we did in Sackville, and we've also had some other disease. So anything that's got a good disease resistance is a bonus for us. See what else we normally order from them. Mexican grape, we said, is not our favorite. We've got our cosmonauts, we've got our fundy, we've got our goldie. Peace vine and black cherry tomatoes. I think we can just get some better varieties of cherry tomatoes, maybe from Annapolis Seeds. And these guys don't have Paul Robeson, so we'll find those somewhere else. I think that's our cart from Cochrane Family Farms. I do just want to quickly take a look at some of their other vegetables. Let's see. I know I've ordered some broccoli from them before, and they're both out of stock. Like I said, they had a rough growing year, so I knew they weren't going to have a huge selection this year. Don't like to eat celeriac, and I already have celery seeds. Cucumbers. Now, I almost forgot, but these Shuyo long cucumbers are some of our favorites. They've done really well for us, so I'm definitely going to add those to the cart. I have enough pickling cucumbers. I don't think I'm going to order any more. Those are cute, but they're out of stock. I think that's fine. I have a lot of melon and watermelon seeds and not a whole lot of extra space, so we're not going to go get tempted there. Don't like to eat radishes, and it's something we regularly get in our CSA. So what we get will be more than enough. Maybe I can find some zucchini. I know I've ordered some heirloom zucchini from them before. They don't have the variety of zucchini that I've ordered from them before. Well, perhaps we'll look somewhere else for those. Definitely don't need any extra kohlrabi. Anybody that has a CSA knows that you'll get plenty of kohlrabi. Not a fan. They have a popping corn. No, they don't have any corn. It's not surprising. Maybe we'll get some more of the... No, I think we have enough. Oh, those are fun looking, but we have enough lettuce seeds. We just need to learn to grow them better, and then we can shop more for those next year. So let's view our cart. So we've got some of those chives, some oregano, some basil, Amish pimento peppers, cayenne, early jalapeno. Yep, we've got 2 in our cart. King of the North, tangerine pimento, Hungarian hot wax, black strawberry, cosmonaut, fundy, goldie, moonglow. Why not try a tigerilla? And some cucumbers. Almost makes it seem like I should have a coupon code. Let's check their Facebook real quick. All right, so we're here on their Facebook page. I'm just going to take a quick scroll through, make sure they haven't posted any. See, this was the seedy Saturday I was going to go to. All right, I don't see any coupon codes here for recently shared. This is their little store. It's really cute. They've got a good variety of stuff, just a little too far away to go this year. All right, $85. It's not bad. All right, so our order has been received. I expect that we'll get this pretty quickly. They're not too far away from us. Shipping was quite reasonable, only $6. I would have paid so much more in gas to get out to them. And yeah, so $91.94 from them. I'm sure we'll spend quite a bit more on seeds. We always do, but I know that I'm going to grow more food than $91 worth of vegetables would have been at the grocery store, especially with how food prices are here in Canada in 2024. We've grown some of these varieties before. I feel fairly confident that we'll make more than $91 worth of spaghetti sauce or pickles from these varieties. So, yeah, let's move on to our next website. All right, on to our next company. So, Annapolis Seeds, like I said, is a company that I've been growing their seeds from for quite a while. I purchased their tomatillo seeds. It must have been 2020, 2021. And since then, I've always had success with tomatillos. So, let's go on and grab some of those first, and then we'll get shopping for tomatoes and peppers. Tomatillos, etc. So I know that they have a few different varieties of tomatillos. I've always done really well with their Amarilla. So let's see if we can find that. They've got a Tama Verde, Amarilla. So these ones I've done really well with. I'm going to get 2 packs of that and maybe regret my life choices later. But like I said, always done really well for me. So definitely happy. Now, never seen these ones from them before. Early variety well adapted to northern climates, will fill and split when fruit is ripe. And they're classic. They're a lot bigger, and husking all of those Amarilla tomatillos can be kind of a pain sometimes. So let's add one of those to the cart and just get one of the Amarilla tomatillos. And we're going to add that to the cart too. We're not going to go and pick it up because these guys are even further from us, but I know they do shipping, so we'll get those shipped to us. It's always nice when I don't have to go for a drive, even though I would love to go down and see them at some point. Last year when I ordered from them, I just grabbed some from the CD Saturday event that I had gone to, where Cochrane Family Farms was. These guys were there, and Rival were there also. It's always nice to go talk to your seed growers and see what their recommendations are. Obviously, they've been growing these for quite some time, and they're really familiar with their products because these are small farms. So, like I said, paste tomatoes don't do well for me. I'm just not willing to try those again this year. We'll go look at some cherry tomatoes, but first let's get started with some beefsteaks. I always have such a hard time. Their photos are so good, and I want to buy everything. But that is not practical. Not seeing any Paul Robsons this year. I remember looking at these last year and thinking they were really cool. A solar flare tomato. I think it's just another yellow. Hmm. Well, that is disappointing. I'm not seeing my Paul Robson that I was expecting to see here in the beefsteak. I have a lot of yellow and orange tomatoes. I love them, but I'm not quite up for adding more of those to my garden. While those look cool, again, just not willing to dedicate space to them. What are these guys? Market Gardener's Dream Tomato. Prolific, flavorful, round, and they're red. I couldn't believe how many people get at me because I don't grow red tomatoes. So weird. So the best thing about being a home gardener is you get to have fun. Bred for organic greenhouse conditions. So I don't currently have a greenhouse, and anything that says that it's bred for greenhouse conditions I found has not done well outdoors. So that is not for us. How ribbed that is. That's so cool. Beauty King tomato. This looks a lot like the Furwick one that I had grown last year, but I haven't gone shopping from that company yet. So 6-inch beefsteak. Oh, this one's developed by Wild Boar Farms, and they're selling seeds in Canada for those. Ugh. Well, maybe we need some Beauty King tomatoes. I don't know. All right, let's go look at the rest of the tomatoes and see. So I had mid-sized tomatoes. Look how pretty these mid-sized tomatoes are. Like I said, their photography really, really gets me. Just want them all. So they have the Cosmonaut too. I've grown really well from Cochrane Family Farms. I want to support them, so that's where I ordered them from. Black Prince, we tried these. They were okay. I don't know if it was just because of our poor growing season, but ooh, a moneymaker tomato. I wonder if that's like the mortgage lifter. Good all-purpose slicer, medium to red, red fruit. Okay, I just got a red fruit. I probably don't need. Moonglow, we ordered those from Cochrane's. Black Ruffles. What is this? Looks meaty. It's very cat-faced. I do a lot of canning with my tomatoes, so I'm not sure how willing I am to deal with that in the kitchen. Deep brown fruit. Sandwich slices or cooked down to a rich brown sauce. Again, very tempting. So I think at this time we need to split and we need to go shopping at our other. Here we go. Oops. No, not the cords, the seeds. We're seed shopping. Look, there they are. This is who we want. All right, we're gonna go to all seeds. Maybe we're not. We're gonna go home. Well, that's fun. I definitely need more herbs, so we'll get there. They've got quite a bit of the story on their farm. I know they have a really good family history of farming. It's quite interesting to read. So let's go vegetables. We're not going to go in all seeds because that is just scary. We end up with so much more than what we need. Eggplants. Tried my first eggplant last year. Turned out I really like it. Peppers, we're definitely going to stop by there, but first we're going to look for some tomatoes. This is what I look for, is just like a really, really meaty tomato. They have a lot of variety. See, here's the Furwick. So we're gonna order some of those. They were so fun. They struggled through last year, but we got some from them. So, oh, it didn't take me back to tomatoes. It's not nice. All right, let's put in Paul here and see if we can get some Paul Robsons. Yes. Okay. So we're going to order two of these. These are our staple tomato. This is what we're going to grow the most of in our garden. They have a big variation of color, but the flavor is just so deep. It makes a fantastic sauce. Like, this is a quarter. Okay. Yes, it's a Canadian quarter. The American ones are almost the same size. Um, but yeah, they're just absolutely delicious. They're only 80 days to maturity somehow, and it's well worth it. So I love they have got like the history of the Paul Robson. So it's an Eastern European heirloom variety. A lot of the varieties for both peppers and tomatoes that I'm doing well with are Eastern European varieties. Paul Robson tomato plants produce medium to large beef-like type fruit with maroon black shoulders that are sweet, juicy, and extremely flavorful. I would agree with that. Definitely my favorite tomato by far. This is the one that Chris asks for if I'm going out to get tomatoes for hamburgers or anything else. So, oof, they have a big price for free shipping. Hopefully their shipping's not too bad. All right, back to tomatoes. So let's be a bit strategic here. I know that I've got some Paul Robsons. We've ordered those. Page 1 of 3. This is dangerous. Italian heirloom tomato. We got very prolific producer of large red, slightly tapered fruit resembling somewhat of an ox heart-like shape. Great slicing and canning tomato. Good. And they grow that for them, so that's always promising. I'm sure seed producers are extremely picky about what they're putting in their kitchen gardens. It's a prolific tomato that should be grown if you're looking for an excellent multi-purpose variety, and that is what I'm looking for. I want something that I can put on a hamburger, in a salad, or go and use for canning because, like I said, I'm not doing those paste tomatoes. So when I see a tomato that looks as beefy as this, yeah, that's something that I'm going to add to my garden. It's 75 to 80 days to maturity, and it's about 25 seeds per packet. I find they're usually a little bit more generous, but if I get, 20 ripe and ready plants to transplant, that's okay. And then give good planting instructions. So let's add one of those to the cart. It's probably enough. Let's try to get some cherry tomatoes. So I feel a little lacking. I like them for snacks, and we've got a few recipes, I guess, that call for cherry tomatoes that I quite like. They're always good to put in like a pasta salad. A bumblebee cherry tomato. That's kind of cool. Ukrainian purple tomato. I know I like Ukrainian tomatoes. Hmm. Not seeing sun gold because I got those from Annapolis Seeds last year. Let's see if I search on the Annapolis Seeds page if they have a sun gold. Okay, it's coming up in their search. That's good. Okay, it's there. I'm gonna add that to the cart. Hopefully, one packet is sufficient. Sometimes you have people find out that you've started a variety of seeds and they just show up at your house. If you've got gardening friends, you know what I mean. They either forgot to order their seeds or they started different varieties and they're like, oh my god, I can't live without that one. Incredibly sweet flavor. They're resistant to cracking and they will produce late into summer. So that's good for us here. Which sometimes helps us if we're having a kind of a early start to fall. 70 days to maturity is well within our 90-ish day growing season. They're indeterminate, so they're not all going to come ripe at one time. We're going to add some of those to the cart and hopefully have fun with them this year. I like some stripy tomatoes. All right, I think we need to move on to peppers because if I get too many tomatoes, I am not going to have space for anything else in the garden. This is what I run into year after year because that's what I like to eat, so that's what I grow. See, I've gotten some Nomad peppers from these guys before. Ooh, and like I said, the Black Hungarian. Did I order those from Cochrane? I think so. I have to check my order. Oh my, we're already cross-referencing again. See, they do have California Wonder Peppers, but I find those are, man, 70 days to maturity, and I get lured into this, and I'm like, why don't these grow for me? I already ordered some early jalapenos, and we got some Hungarian hot wax. Got some King of the North. Ooh, I know this was something that I had looked at last year. Best fresh eating pepper we've ever grown. That is a strong statement. Italian heirloom with dark purple skin color that ripens to a deep burgundy red. Plants are quite tall. That's fine. We've got room for tall. Good for fresh consumption. That's great. Love adding, 85 to 90 days. Okay, that's not unexpected for a pepper. I think we're going to try it. This might be a risk, these Marconi sweet peppers, but one I am willing to take. Want some more sweet peppers that I can put in the freezer. I've already got cayenne. There's this guy. 70 days to maturity. Large sweet red peppers well into fall. Double your harvest with these 4-lobed gems. Good disease resistance, maturing early at 68 to 73 days. Why not? All right, so I don't have any Nomad peppers. That's what I came here looking for. Well, poop. Do they have... I don't think I need any hot chili peppers. Not seeing any Nomad, that's okay. We have a good variety of peppers to try to start this year. Mhm, 60 days to maturity for a broccoli. Let's see. So this is going to take up a lot of space in the garden, 24 inches between rows. It's going to set one head that's going to be 3 to 8 inches across. I just don't know. I think we're going to try some broccolini this year. I'm not sure this one is for us. Got some beans already. Cauliflower cell rack. See if they have any popping corn. 60 days. So this is one of the new things that we really wanted to try this year. We've been getting some popping corn from our CSA, but you know, it's a kind of a novelty thing that they grow, so it's not always something that we get a whole lot of. And I think it would be fun to put in the garden. And if it's under 60 days, then it's something that we should be able to bring to maturity here. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to eat it. These are always so pretty. I know sweet corn's not going to do well here. Usually we don't get the heat that it needs. I know I'll get more than enough corn from the CSA. I have some hard time digesting just, corn on the cob, so it's not something that we want to do too much of. Okay, so this one's good for grinding into cornmeal or flour or just as a decorative. It's 87 to 90 days. This is more of what I was expecting for corn. Kind of fun looking. I'm gonna give it a shot. I think it would be pretty cool if we could grow some corn to make our own corn tortillas. All right, $40. It's not bad. Herbs. Definitely need to get into those herbs. So we're going to go culinary herbs. Not really into medicinal herbs at this point. Ooh, mustard. Sure. Bergamot. I know that's good for tea. We have cilantro. We have tulsi. A mountain mint. Ooh, it doesn't spread. A mint that doesn't spread. We're going to try some. Summer savory is a really big thing in Newfoundland cooking, and Chris is from Newfoundland, but I know I have a lot. It's not expensive. I ordered some oregano, but not more thyme seeds. I have a few, but I like to try a few other varieties. Like I said, I'm allergic to licorice, so licorice mint is not appealing to me. Also, don't like fennel. Sea celery. Interesting. Black cumin. Can we grow cumin here in Nova Scotia? That would be so exciting. Not a true cumin, but close relative. Flowers followed by pods, which are used in a number of different cuisines. We use so much cumin in the kitchen, so if we can get something that's even a little bit similar and we can grow it ourselves, that would be really exciting. Not to mention, adding flowers in the form of herbs to the garden is always a good idea, especially when you have things like tomatillos that need cross pollination. Having those flowering herbs out there to bring in the pollinators are always great. I've always heard so many good things about lemon basil, so we're going to add some of that. What is this? Doesn't have a picture. It's a calamint. Not often grown in Canada. It's essential in Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisine. So it is a perennial. It's hardy to our zone. They don't spread too much beyond where they're planted. Not sure I'm really ready to put that in the garden. What other things? We already have some beans. What do we got for peas? Let's see about some shelling peas. Because it turns out that I've learned about myself that I would prefer to eat a shelling pea than a snap pea. Great for fresh eating as well as freezing. That's good. I would intend to freeze or can some. 4-inch green pods. Sugary sweet peas. Sounds quite reasonable. I know I said I don't love peas, but I would really like to try to put some in the freezer. Dried peas. Chris loves to cook like a split pea type thing. Black-eyed Susan peas. But I think that's what his Viking peas are, so I don't think I'm going to purchase any more. Edible pod peas. What do we got? So these are the ones that I have, the Sugar Mongolia ones that are purple. I think we're just going to keep growing those purple ones, and no, it's the purple beans I have. I don't have... Oh, I grew these last year. They were good garden snacks. Less sugary sweet than the average, so maybe that's why I didn't love them. See if we can find one that's sweeter. A sugary pea. Comes out of Oregon. 6 feet or more. which I love creating a bit of privacy with a wall of peas out in my garden. My garden is in my front yard, which is directly across from our community mailboxes, so there's a lot of traffic there. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of hide in the bushes. Named after the Grateful Dead song. I'm sure Chris will know what that means. So sorry, guys. Do not get the popular references. All right, let's see what they got for celery. I think I'm okay with what I've got for celery right now. Other legumes. Chickpeas, lentils. That looks like something we should plan some space for in the future. We got our peppers, we got our tomatillos. I do not need any more root crops in my life. Do they have any short season eggplants? I do not yet have a garden, like a greenhouse. So I am hesitant to do eggplant because I know they like to be hot. What I'm seeing immediately is that they produce well outdoors for us, even in cool growing seasons. Classic Asian type. We're just going to go with the first one we see and save ourselves some time. And if that does well for us and it grows well outside, then maybe we'll try 2 types of eggplants next year. All right, so broccoli. So these guys have some more of the sprouting type broccolis, which I think I'm more willing to dedicate some space to, because I don't trust that I'm going to get to a full head. So this is a Zamboni rab, and it's a broccoli rab, which means it's a sprouting broccoli. Green heads loaded with nutrients and flavor, and you can eat the young leaves. I usually feed mine to the chickens. Best planted in August for fall crop. So we're going to try that. In August, I'll have more space in the garden, and this is how I intended to do my brassicas last year, and I just wasn't early enough getting them started. I really transplanted them out into September. So when I take my peas out, I'm going to put in my broccoli. What else? Okra. The way Jess from Roots and Refuge describes okra and its texture, I don't think that's going to be my thing. Chris lived in the South for a year or two for work. He's never mentioned okra, so I don't think that's something I need to struggle with. I know these guys have some amazing flowers. Uh, More of an annual kind of girl. I know poppies are hard to grow. Oh, they have right. Okay, so I've had my eye on this straw flower mix for a while, and I have no idea where I'm going to put them, but this is how it goes. Some mammoth Russian sunflowers, because I would really, really love to have some of those for eating. They have different like color selections. I would love just like a mix. Bachelor buttons. Ooh, they have the blue ones. I might get myself into trouble with shopping here. Like I said, I do not need any more marigolds in my life. So many marigold seeds. More straw flowers. I've seen straw flowers on the You Can't Eat a Grass YouTube channel for years now, and they've got that crinkly sound, and they're just so beautiful. I would love to have some in my garden. I know Gomphrena is another one that she talks about often. Ah, nasturtiums. I knew I was missing seeds for something, and nasturtium is a great trap crop to have in the garden. It attracts a lot of pests. The golden ones, I think those will go well in my garden. At some point, I'm really going to have to dedicate more space to the pretty things because we could definitely be putting a lot more pretty things into our garden for sure. Now, she has dye plants, and a hobby of mine is to do basket weaving. And I know that you can do dyes, like natural dyes to dye the reed. So, what do we got? So, what are some of these? Edible flowers, cut flowers, or as a dye plant. for foods or fiber. You know what? Sounds like a great option. Should be kind of like a purpley color. All right, so you got 2 varieties of bachelor buttons, some nasturtiums, some Russian sunflowers, and some straw flowers. So a lot of these are still edible or have second uses. Nasturtiums you can eat, even though I don't. I think my chickens do, though. So, all right, I think that's enough. Hopefully we have enough variety. Just wanted to quickly check their mushrooms. They have a lot of variety of mushrooms. Might be something that I have to put Chris onto. He has decided that he would like to eat more mushrooms, and he got a very Christmas-themed mushroom for me this year. Christmas-themed mushroom. Christmas was mushroom themed for me this year. And he got a mushroom knife, a mushroom brush, and a foraging guide for our area. So hopefully he goes out and does some foraging, but I wouldn't mind if he grew some like oyster mushrooms or shiitakes at home. So we'll see. Maybe that's something he'll want to order for himself. Now, I saw that they had a how to save your own seeds. And while I've saved some of my own seeds in the past, and you saw earlier in this video, it is not something I'm doing enough of, not something I'm super knowledgeable about, and I would like to learn more. So this is by Seeds of Diversity Canada, and it's always nice to have local guides. And it's only $20, where a lot of the seed saving books that I've looked at have been really, really, really expensive. So that's going in the cart, and that's going to go for part of my fun budget for this month. So you can see I'm up to $88. I think it's about time to check out. I think we're going to have a better varied garden this year. We've got some peas, we've got some more herbs. We've got a different type of tomatillo to try, but our tried and tested and true one also. Some thyme. I know we ordered some oregano. I think we're gonna have a good year. All right, so this is our order confirmation from Annapolis Seeds. Their current fulfillment time is 1 to 2 weeks, so I'm glad I didn't wait any longer. I would have really been pushing my luck to get seeds started on time. And yeah, so that will come to us shortly. And sure, we'll subscribe to your email offers. It's never a bad idea. So we did spend $106.95 with Annapolis Seeds. That's within my seed budget. Some of these are fun things like flowers and a book. And some of them are some of our tried and true favorites like Sun Gold and our tomatillos. So okay, so our last place to check out from is the Revival Seeds. We've got some fun things like some corn, which I am excited to try. If I get some popping corn out of this, I'm going to be ecstatic. I have space in my grow room to store these types of things to cure and to dry, so I'm not too worried about that. Um, I know a lot of people, if you're limited on space, corn is really not a good idea, especially a drying variety, but I'm confident we have space to do that. I've got some good varieties of new types of peppers and tomatoes, but we've also got our Paul Robsons and our firework. So I don't have anything else here from them that I needed to try. Now, let's just take a look to see if they have any different brassicas. Brussels sprouts is something that I haven't ordered yet. What is their date of maturity is 115 days. So this is not going to work for us at all. And we might just be, well, we're going to skip on that one, that's for sure. I think I still have a few Brussels sprout seeds. Broccoli, right, that was just the heading broccoli. We decided not to do that. They have the same book. Cauliflower. I have some cauliflower seeds, but I've tried this variety a few times now and not had success. So Not allowed to open cauliflower. Fall sowing varieties. Now, this is where I need to be. Oh, is this just a sow? Okay, so I've got Swiss chard already. I have some kale. Thyme already. So much lettuce. Just need to figure out how to grow it. Okay, no more brassicas. So I think we're okay with that. Pak choi, we get pak choi from our CSA, so that's fine. See if it'll let us open cauliflower now. No. Maybe it is no longer available. We had a lot of cabbage again from our CSA, so that's not something I'm going to dedicate space to. See if there's any other herbs we should be adding. Sesame. Fun. I have cilantro. Not going to grow borage. Sage seeds. Chives. I have so much dill seed saved. I'm sure I'll be able to sprout some of those. I know I have parsley also. Ordered some oregano. All right, I think we're good here. See, again, they've got lentils and okra. So weird. And fantastic. Zucchini. Okay, so I'm still not quite excited about my zucchini selection, so see what they got. 57 days to maturity. Tends to be good for freezing. That's good. I like to try to preserve some zucchini. Large bush plants are non-vining and grow semi-upright. That's good. Maybe we'll get better airflow. Add one of those. So desperate to grow zucchini. 55 days. Open bushy heirloom plant originating from northern Italy. Big fruit. It will retain its flower. Interesting. And they're actually a type of squash, so I wonder if these will do better. Just give it a shot. So I think we spent enough money today. This is usually how I end my seed shopping. All right, I think we have a good variety. It's not too bad. And shipping's only $5. All right. So they don't say when they're going to ship, but I'm sure I'll get some shipping notifications. $62 is more than reasonable, and we got some of our critical items like Paul Robson and firework. So yeah, that is our seed shopping done, and I'm sure I'll be unboxing them with you guys in a future video, not to mention starting seeds, potting up seeds. It is almost garden time. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I'll be sharing lots more in the future.